everyone. It's time for another episode of Off the Hook with Matty D. You know, I'm on Facebook all the time looking at different fishing reports around the Mid-Atlantic and specifically here in Richmond. And I'm on a Facebook page called James River Fishing Report. And on that, I'm always seeing what people are doing. And a post caught my eye recently, and it has to do with a program called Catfish for Heroes. So I reached out to the program coordinator, Tyler Patterson, who joins us on this episode of Off the Hook with Matty D. First of all, Tyler, thanks for joining us today.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
So, first of all, number one, thank you for your service. You are a Air Force veteran, and you are currently a Department of Defense firefighter. So, not only did you serve in armed forces, but you are a first responder, and that's to be commendable. So, thank you so much for all that you do.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
So that kind of leads us into this program. You developed this program called Catfish for Heroes. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Tell me a little bit about that.
So we started about 3 years ago. It started as kind of just me taking some vet friends and some first responder friends that I work with out fishing. Um, and I saw the positive effect it had on them. It had on me dealing with PTSD and other stuff that I have from both being a first responder and being in the military. Um, and I thought, if I could do this for me and the guys I work with, then I could definitely help out other vets. I know they're suffering, and maybe not traditional therapy is not something for them, and maybe this is something that can help them. So we started a nonprofit in 2022.
And you mentioned PTSD because you noticed, I was reading the little bit of the bio on the website, and we'll talk about that as we go through the program. You served for 6 years in the armed forces, and you started to feel that things weren't right for you. You started to have PTSD and just different things you did in your 6 years, and you thought the fallback was to go to something that you enjoyed as a child, which was fishing.
Right, absolutely. I moved out to Pennsylvania after I got out of the service and took a job with the DoD as a fireman. And one night I decided to go just hit the banks of the local river here, and I hooked into some catfish, and that's how it's all started from there.
I mean, catfish is a very fun fish to go for, powerful fish as well, which makes it even more enjoyable, right? Rather than, I mean, I do all kinds of fishing, right? So I guess I can pick on it. A small trout has its place, but when you're fighting a monster, that really adds some fun to it.
Yeah, it's a fun fish. You don't know what you're ever gonna hook. It might be a 2 pound catfish. It might be a 70 pound catfish, and it might be the fight of your life, and it might be something you remember forever.
Which is the whole goal for sure, because that you want that memory to live on. So, what is exactly the mission of Catfish for Heroes?
So our mission mainly is we want to get vets, first responders all over the country. We want to get them out on the water and expose that and that outdoor therapy as a way to cope with whatever's going on in their life, whether it's PTSD, whether it's anxiety, depression, anything that they have going on. Get them out on the water for the day, let them relax, enjoy themselves, get away from the stressors of what's going on in their daily life, and we hope that that results in a long term. It's kind of like it did for me. Maybe it sparks a new hobby. Maybe it sparks an old interest that they haven't been fishing since they were a kid with their dad or something. And we want them to use that outlet as a positive method of dealing with what they have going on instead of turning to some negative aspects of how they might be dealing with it.
And you mentioned it's a growing national program that you designed. So, as you said, you're in Pennsylvania, I believe, or Maryland, that area, right? Where else is Catfish for Heroes happening right now?
So we have ambassadors across a lot of the East Coast. As far as Texas, we have them throughout the Carolinas, the Midwest, Ohio, Alabama, and then we have guys that are active duty. We have one that's stationed in Japan right now, so he's helping active duty soldiers and vets that are out there in Japan. So we kind of have people all over the country.
And you said that ambassadors. Explain exactly what an ambassador is.
So an ambassador is somebody that signs up with our program. We go through a vetting process with them to make sure they're safe, they know what they're doing, and they understand the mission. About 90% of our ambassadors are either vets themselves, uh, first responders, or have direct family in that community. So they understand um, what these guys are dealing with when they take them out. So they volunteer their time. They're avid fishermen, and they volunteer their time, their boat, and their resources to help get these people on the water.
And what kind of feeling do you get when you do this and you take a veteran out or a first responder? I mean, there's got to be some self gratification in there as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as many times as I take people out, for a whole year, I didn't reel in a fish myself, and it brought me more excitement to watch them catch maybe a new personal best fish. Or we had a couple vets last year that never caught a fish before. They'd never been fishing, and we caught them their first fish. And just the look and the smile on their face, and they'll message us months down the road and just say thank you and how much it helped. And that's what really does it for me and keeps me going, is when that happens.
And I'm bringing up some pictures here, and you can see them as well. This gentleman here with, I believe this is a really large flathead. I'm sure you might have seen bigger, but that's a heck of a fish right there.
Yeah, that's actually one of our bigger. That's about a 47, 48 pound flathead catfish.
And just ginormous in this. And when do these outings take place? Is it year round? Is it monthly? Is it weekly? How often are these outings happening?
So it's really been on how we get our requests in. You could sign up on catfishforheroes.com, fill out the request a trip form, and as many as we send those out, we'll get in touch with an ambassador near them, and they'll directly schedule a trip. Or kind of as you found us on that James River fishing report, our ambassadors will post that they have availability and they want to take guys out, and they'll start a list of signups.
I'm sorry.
We run it. Some guys fish year round. In my area, I fish from March till about November. Okay. Is mainly when I fish. So throughout a good portion of the year.
So it's really about your individual availability that you can make available to the different veterans and first responders.
Right. Yeah. So when we coordinate with the local ambassador, they'll coordinate the trip directly of what schedule works best for the veteran and the captain, so they can make that happen.
And I notice some of these pictures are at the dark of night because catfishing can happen really anytime, but there seems to be this thing where nighttime is some of the best catfishing there is.
Yeah, nighttime can be very good for catfishing, particularly flatheads. And depending on the year, during the summer, it's great for blue cats at night. There's good daytime fishing. The spring and the fall, we'll fish. Whenever we know the fish are biting, we'll get somebody out in the water and try to get them on some fish.
And I think that's the great thing there. And there's no age requirement for a client, is there? As long as they meet that either a veteran or a first responder and they've signed up through your link.
Yep, there's no other age requirements other than that. A lot of our ambassadors will take family members as well if they want to join, like that picture you're seeing now. That veteran specifically, he's in a wheelchair, hadn't been on a boat in over 20 years. He was able to take his son out. We were able to get him on a boat with one of our guys, and they caught some awesome fish that night.
I mean, it's just. And how long is a trip, by the way? Is it 6 hours, 8 hours, 4 hours, or whatever the client kind of desires?
Kind of dependent on what the client desires. Some guys just want to go out for a couple hours. Some want to run 6 to 8 hours is our average trip. And sometimes if they're like me, one last cast turns into 5 last casts, and we've had guys stay for 12 hours, and they're just having a good time.
I've never heard of an angler saying one more cast, and next thing you know, 3 hours have passed by. It happens all the time.
Yep.
It really is fun for sure. Okay, so I go to your website. I'm going to bring that up here for a quick second while we're talking. Oops, I gotta bring that up there. Let's go back to there. We go. And you said it's request a trip is where we want to go, and this is where we can request a trip, as you're seeing here. How long does it take after I've put in that to kind of get the process going? And I'm sure you don't approve every trip that's requested. I'm sure there's some vetting that has to be done.
Yeah, there's some vetting that does occur in there. Either request a copy of your ID or a DD-214, some proof of service. We'll send that to the local ambassador. I try to get them out within a week to the ambassador, and then it's up to them. So usually within about a week or two, you'll hear something from that ambassador who's trying to schedule you out, whether they're ready to schedule or the conditions aren't good or the bite's not right yet, and they'll tell you when the best time is and schedule you then.
And what does it cost to the client, the veteran, the first responder? Is there any cost out of pocket for them? What do they need to do? What do they need to bring?
So the only cost for the veteran, if they need to purchase their fishing license, some states have a boat license that the captain has that's covered. We also have some charter guides that work with the organization. But other than that, you just need to bring your fishing license, some snacks and drinks, and a good attitude, and be ready to fish.
You or the ambassador that we hook up with is covering all costs for this trip.
Yep, between the organization and the ambassador, everything is covered. We don't charge anything for anybody that we take out on the water, 100% free of charge, other than just getting your fishing license.
So how can we, as people who want to support veterans and support your cause, how can we help out?
The best way to help out is one, if you see our page, share it out to your friends, your family, share our website out. You can also make a donation directly on our website, right there on that form. And we also have merchandise available on our website. You can purchase our merchandise through our Shopify store, and that helps us out. That goes to supporting our cause.
And so that's a simple way to do things because, I mean, in my opinion, we can never do enough for our veterans. So, I mean, that's a simple donation. So we all understand, what does an average trip cost to run? $550, $700, $750? I mean, you have gas, you have equipment, supplies, manpower, time.
Yeah, just taking in the accountability, the fuel costs, the bait costs, the gear costs. An average trip runs about $250. If you would take into what a guide service would charge to go out for 6 or 8 hours, that's a $600 or $700 trip.
Right. So, I mean, and you're putting these veterans, these first responders on fish. You're showing them, as you said, what might be that trip of a lifetime, get to that catch of a lifetime, because that possibility is always there with catfish. I mean, as you said, 2 pounds to upwards of 70 pounds is not out of the question.
Yeah, absolutely. You never know what the fish are going to do, where they're going to be at. Some days it's slow, and some days you catch fish all night until your arms are sore.
Right. So locally down here in Virginia, we have, if I was looking at your website, because you can see who the ambassadors are, the person who posted this was Justin Edwards. I assume he's an ambassador down here?
Yes, he's one of our ambassadors with the organization.
Sergio Galvin, is he also still with you?
Yep, he's with us. He's just getting back from a 8-month deployment, and he's still on a TDY. So he'll be back soon, running trips in that area as well.
Right. So And down here in Virginia, you're servicing the James River. I saw Sergio's doing the Chickahominy. So there's different waters to fish for catfish. And then, as you said, you're up in the Pennsylvania area. So what waters are you fishing up there?
So I'll fish anywhere the Schuylkill River that's out by Philly. I fish the Susquehanna mainly. And then I also fish the Potomac River from D.C. down into Virginia, down south of Quantico. So anywhere between Quantico and D.C., I'll fish the Potomac River as well.
So there's a wide variety just from Philly-ish all the way south through us. And then, as you said, there's more out there for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, really good stuff. All right, so just to run through this again, I'm going to bring up that website. Request a Trip is how veterans and first responders can reach out to you, and it'll take about 2 weeks or so for you all to kind of vet them and get back with them and start that conversation. And for those of us that want to help out, the donate link right there, we can easily do that. And of course, the merchandise page, shirts, hats, this all goes to help you all out.
Absolutely, yeah. Every dollar helps. None of our ambassadors, none of our board members, none of our team take a dollar. We all volunteer our time to do this. We're not doing this for money. So every dime we get goes right back into the cost of getting these guys out in the water.
I think this is an unbelievable organization that you developed. I love the mission. I love the help that you're giving, and it is truly therapy to those first responders and veterans. I think this is fantastic. So, and again, thank you for your service and for developing this and coming on here today.
I appreciate it.
Very good. All right, so Tyler, I will chat with you again soon. And again, everyone, this was Off the Hook with Matty D. Tyler Patterson. Again, you want to find out more about this, please make sure you run to Catfish for Heroes is the homepage. You can find out the website. You can find out more about the different ambassadors in your area as well. You can request a trip, and please help them out. Remember, this is all about helping out our first responders and our veterans here throughout the country. Make them have a great day. Thank you so much for joining us for Off the Hook with Matty D. We'll see you again next time. Guys, for another episode of Off the Hook with Matty D.